Okay, peace to y'all. So this is going to be messages from the pages, wisdom from the pages. A lot of time we look for the more mature energies, and just in life, also in general, we don't give the chance for youthful energy or younger energy sometimes to speak their truth and to give their wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in childlike energy, and um, it's not just immaturity all the time, right? So I wanted to give the pages a chance to speak from the deck and see what insight they had, what insight they could give us, okay? Just automatically off the bat, I see that every page in this deck has an animal with him, okay? And they're all masculine in this particular deck. So we have the elephant, the rabbit, the snake, and a depiction of a bull here as well, okay? Let's go ahead. We will start with the page, or the knave is depicted as a horse here in the African American tarot. The Knave of Swords, okay? The Knave of Swords. And I feel like I should put this up for you guys. I got some Florida water here. Oh my God, maybe not. Like right here. You guys can see the bowl. Okay, so no. But Knave of Swords. Here we go. What messages do we have from the Knave of Swords? What wisdom can the Knave of Swords give us? Wow, this is beautiful. So the Knave of Swords represents your mind, right? Air, energy. And automatically when the Seven of Swords came out right here, I'm going to put this here, and the Six of Wands came out, I heard there is victory in faking your mind out. Does that make sense? So I just automatically thought of law of attraction. And the Seven of Swords is a card of like stealing or somebody lying behind your back, some type of somebody, in the original deck, it's someone taking seven swords quietly away from a situation, kind of like tiptoeing off with these swords, right? So the Seven of Swords gets a bad connotation, like a bad, just a bad rep. I don't know if connotation is the right word, but it gets a bad rep. And with the Six of Wands here, this is victory, public recognition. So I'm hearing that when you trick your mind, not another person or something outside of yourself, but when you trick your mind, I just saw 444 into, it's really just law of attraction. Like if you actually believe that you're this or you're that, that's what you're going to manifest. That's what you're going to attract to you. And a lot of times we can feel guilty for that, or feel like we're lying to ourselves. We're not being realistic. People say that all the time. I'd be so done with that. I'm thinking about it realistically, like, okay, but your mind does not work like that, y'all. And this is the message that the Page of Swords is giving us today. Your mind does not know what is real from fake. So if you send signals to your mind that you're in lack, that you're stressed out, that, just any of those low vibrational energies, you are going to manifest that in your life. If you're able to, and you can consider it tricking your mind, lying to yourself, you can look at it that way, but in all honesty, it's being wise, it's being smart to understand how to reprogram not just your mind, but your subconscious as well. I'm brought to the lake here, and a lot of times our subconscious can be like frozen water, right? Like frozen ice. New material can't get to it, new frequencies, new vibrations, new ways of thinking can't get to your subconscious mind because you haven't thought it out. It's very, very difficult. And I'm not just saying this is all of us, right? All of us have a difficult time reprogramming our subconscious mind. That's why meditation is so important. This is why chanting is so important. Just any of those exercises are very, very beneficial for reprogramming your subconscious mind from old beliefs, old trauma, okay, ancestral beliefs, things that you grew up with that aren't necessarily true. And, again, you might see it as like a Seven of Swords, like you're faking it, you're telling yourself a lie. Keep telling yourself that lie long enough so that you can be victorious, okay? Like, just go ahead and keep telling yourself that you're rich, and like do the things, be in the energy of somebody, of what you feel somebody would do if they were rich, if they were in love, if they had good health, all those things that we look for or aspire to in our lifetime, right? Very interesting message from the Page of Swords. That is so cool. So most of us, of course, on this Patreon and on my channel are going to know about the law of attraction, but sometimes we just need a reminder, like, where are you blocking yourself, or where are you telling yourself, well, I'm lying to myself, I can't make this much money, I can't find love, I can't get good health because the doctor said XYZ. Like, where are you, trying to be realistic when you need to work in fantasy more? Because reality is keeping you down. It's keeping you at a lower level, and it's stopping your victory. Kintu was tried, in this card, Kintu was tried many times by his brother-in-laws because they didn't want him to marry his sister. And they went to his father and asked his father to test him to see if he's the real Kintu. They didn't believe their sister. So he went through many different trials. And what was so interesting is how it's like the sky kind of opened up and earth opened up. He didn't really have to do much because spirit really passed those trials for him. So I'm saying that to also say it might not be as hard as you think. If you give room for spirit, and in the Christian world they say, like, it's not yours, it's the Lord's. I forgot what that song is called. It's not yours, it's the Lord's. Sometimes you need to just give room to spirit. It's not you doing all the work all the time. If you are the chosen one, if you're meant to do this thing, if spirit put it in your heart, put it in your mind, right, to have this victory, to have this success, then meet spirit halfway at least, or at least a quarter of the way. At least do the inner work in your mind to believe that you can do it, okay? So that's, again, the wisdom from the Page of Swords. Okay. So we worked with the mind. Let's work with the emotions with the Page of Cups. What is the wisdom from the Page of Cups? Totally different energy, right? Like, he's more focused in this, right? Like, on task, getting his mind on point. And he's just more in the energy, more in the vibration. So let's see what the message is for Page of Cups. Three of Wands. I'm hearing just do it. Like, just don't worry about haters. Don't worry about naysayers. It's like, yeah, courage. Page of Cups is saying have courage. Obviously, hyenas eat goats, and the goat was able to outwit everyone, all those hyenas. And that's how he became the goat king of his village. You can definitely check out that story on my YouTube, right? On the Three of Wands. And I'm just really heavily getting this message of having courage. It doesn't matter what anyone on the outside says that you can do, because they're not the goat. You are. Like, they're hyenas. They want to laugh. They want to. Some of them want to eat you alive, right? Some of them want your energy for themselves. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You have the power to outwit and outsmart all of these energies here, okay? Also, your vibration, your vibration that you walk into. He didn't walk in scared. Imagine if the goat had came into the hyena kingdom and with a vibration of, oh my God, these hyenas are going to eat me. I'm almost positive he would have gotten eaten, right? But he came in with a vibration of, I have something to offer you all. I have this thing that you guys really, really want, It's to the point where they thought that he would lead them to more goats or more, I can't exactly remember, but it was more of something that they wanted. And that's how he was able to trick them. So just being strategic about how you walk into certain situations, how you walk into work, how you walk into love, how you walk into health. What is your vibration when you walk into these things? If it's already a defeating vibration, then you've already lost there. Walking in it with a vibration of success, a vibration of knowing what you're doing, even if you don't. A lot of this, if you read the story or hear the story on my YouTube, you'll see that, a lot of this stuff was off the cuff, like off the cuff of his head. Yeah, so very, very beautiful card here. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is preparing your mind. I usually get with this card, but I'm getting more of keeping your mind sharp. Does that make sense? So usually it would be, in preparation for something, but while you're working, I saw 14, 14, 5, 5, 10. Yeah. Which is one, Ace of Swords. While you're working, while you're going through these trials, dealing with these hyenas, whoever they are in your life, right? Making sure that you're keeping your sword sharp by being consistent in your meditation, or being consistent in journaling, or being consistent in doing that inner child healing, whatever it is for you, your breath work, if it's yoga, sometimes it's just taking a walk outside. Whatever it is that's going to keep that inner peace and keep it going consistently, making sure that you're doing that with the Ace of Swords, okay? So it's not that you do it one time with the wisdom of the Page of Swords. right? But it has to be consistent. You have to keep sending those signals to the universe that you have love, you have health, you have wealth, you have love, you have health, you have wealth. It has to be a consistent thing. Just imagine how consistent lack, poverty mindset. There's so many things that we do that we're not even aware of that signals to the universe. Poverty, lack, I don't have enough. You know, so make sure really journal about some of the things that you might be noticing and take some time to quiet your mind so you can notice those different signals that you're sending out that you don't want to send out anymore, right? You might want to look into feng shui, just different ways of thinking to get your mind thinking in a different way from like how you were raised, like how do different cultures do different things. Okay. So that's overall the wisdom from the Page of Cups, to have the courage to just go out there and do it. And like he's doing it with like a smile on his face. Like, please definitely check out the story of the Three of Wands on my YouTube channel. I'm telling you, it's good. It's really, really good. Okay. All right. Let's go to Wands, which is next in making things manifest. You go from your mind, getting your frequency right, your vibration right, to actually taking action with the wand. This, it took me a long time to understand this energy in this card. But this is really like the excitement you get when you're about to go to Disneyland or you're about to go just do something that you want to do. You get up early in the morning to do it, like the sun hasn't fully come up yet, and you're already up and out of bed and ready to go because you're just so excited for the day. That's this Page of Wands energy for me. And you see he's transforming out of the snake. The snake in occult symbolism and energy represents Kundalini energy, represents alignment, right? And him coming out of the snake with this eagle type, not even eagle, but like this wing right here, it gives me the sense of the eagle. And if you really know about Scorpio energy, Scorpio is not just the symbol of the scorpion, it's also the symbol of the eagle, right? And there's this phoenix rising energy with Scorpio because Scorpio is able to transform himself, many, many times in this lifetime. So it's not a stagnant energy. It's not an energy that stays in one place, or, you can expect this person to be the same person they were 30 years ago. No, 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 no. This is somebody that's changing all the time. You might not even be able to keep up. Like, they're a new person maybe next week, maybe next month. They're on something different. So let's see what messages the Page of Wands has for us. Wow, Five of Swords. I'm hearing keep going even when you don't feel like going. Like, keep going even when you don't feel victorious. The feeling won't always be there. You cannot wait until you're inspired. Let's get in one more card. And sometimes you have to make the inspiration happen. Seven of Pentacles and Four of Wands. Sometimes you have to be a leader and not be afraid of burnout, not be afraid of death. Death in tarot represents transformation. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's a great thing to receive the death card because I know that things are transforming in my life. Things are changing in my life. Usually when I get the Five of Swords, um, it can be more of like a feeling of loss, because even though you're victorious in a situation, it doesn't feel like it, you know? But I'm getting a whole different story off of this card, which is, again, to keep going even when you don't feel like it. How can you fuel yourself? How can you energize yourself when you don't feel like it? Do you have fatigue? Fatigue is a very serious health condition. I think people don't take fatigue as serious as they should. It's actually really serious. For a long time, I had fatigue, and I didn't know that it was a symptom for a long time. And it's just a really sneaky thing, you know, because it's not a cold, it's not a flu. Sometimes it can be depression. Sometimes you really do need the sleep. And other times there can be some underlying issues. It could be diet, it could be environment, it could be a lot of different things. So some of you all might, if you resonate with that, might want to look into fatigue also. But there are, again, because we have the swords here, there are meditations, there is breath work, there's so many things you can do to combat symptoms like fatigue, you know, and it's finding those things and having access to them and educating yourself so that when you want to push through, or when you need to push through, when you need the Page of Wands energy, you can access that. Really interesting message there. And with the Seven of Pentacles, we see the skeleton here, death, transformation. This Page of Wands is is telling me, like, you know, some people are so scared of transformation. You know, here this Page of Wands is popping out of this snake. That had to be scary. It's not an image you see all the time, you know. And the Page of Wands wants you all to not be scared of death, to not be scared of transformation. If you see Tao, the river god, running with death in this card, trying to reach this man, but I'm getting a sense that, like, to run with death, to learn from death, to embrace death, to really understand the transformation, and to surrender. There is a lot of wisdom in surrendering. And we have this man resting as well. So maybe, what do you need to put to rest? What do you need to surrender to? What do you need to try that you haven't tried before? I'm getting a sense of blocks also. Maybe because he's resting on this block right here. Maybe because he's resting on this block. I don't know. But I'm getting a sense of blocks. A message that to look into your blocks. Like, our first instinct when we feel a block is to turn the page, run from it, not look into it, ignore it. It takes practice to stop and listen and say, why do I have this block? Most of the time you'll find that it's a subconscious block, and it's blocking you from more abundance in your life. Most of the time. There's so many times I have looked into my blocks. It could be as simple as a YouTube video where I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch that video. And then it's like, wait, why don't I want to watch that video? Like, why don't I give this video a chance? Like, why am I so blocked to this particular message? And then I look into it, and it's more than likely not as bad as I thought it was, and gives me information that I actually needed. You might notice this with people when you, like, tell them something that they're not used to, or give them an idea that they're not used to, and they kind of block it off. You know, but really recognizing that in yourself, like, where you're blocking off information in yourself. What type of energy are you, like, sticking your nose up to? where you kind of need to surrender and humble yourself and say, hey, like, I could learn more about this. Like, I could try something different in this area. When you try something different, it's going to give you the energy, the wands, the passion, I'm telling you, to keep moving forward. Because there's a sense of accomplishment when you just do something different. And the wands is also telling me, for those of you all who have like difficulty doing this, sometimes honestly just take a different route to work, drive a different way to school, whatever it is, eat something different for breakfast, get a different outfit, just something different, do something that you don't usually do and receive the blessings from it. Okay. And then last we had 4 wands pop out. This is what is necessary. That I'm hearing. This is what is necessary for you to become a leader. A leader does not sit on their butt all day. Like, a leader gets up. Look, he's out in the village, walking around. His stool is with him. His chair is with him. Okay, so he doesn't have a throne that he just sits on all day. Like, this man he takes his throne with him wherever he goes, and it's a little stool, but he's basically the chief of his village, right? You have to get up, get out, and I'm going to say get something like that CeeLo song. But you have to show action if you want to be a leader. If you want to be a leader, you have to put in action. You have to put in work. Okay? Which is, this is obvious stuff, right? But this is the wisdom from the Page of Wands. So cool. And let's get to the last page. The last page. The Pentacle. Page of Pentacles. Usually when somebody gets this card, it's somebody that's going back to school, learning something different, getting their knowledge up, their education up. You see the elephant. The elephant is great for, I think, a Ganesh, right? Breaking through obstacles and going, forward. Just really, really beautiful energy. And think about how smart the elephant is. The elephant is so smart. So anyway, yes. Messages from, wow, Ten of Swords. And Ten of Pentacles. So this is really interesting. Wow. To get 2 tens here. The Page of Wands is telling us, again, this is speaking again to our mind. Really releasing the trauma in our mind. It has a direct effect on our money, on our legacy, on how we show up in the world, how we show up for our family. That's crazy. It's a portal. That's what I just heard. 10 is a very, if you understand numerology, then you absolutely understand what I'm saying. When you see this portal and you can see the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles mirroring each other. This is how powerful your mind is. This is how serious it is. It is a matter of your legacy. It is a matter of taking care of your family. Look at this family right here. They have goats. The ancestral spirits are looking after them, right? I'm hearing it's not a game. I'm also hearing that it's not optional, which is crazy. My nails are bugging me, y'all. hearing that it's not optional, even though obviously it is, right? Like you have the option to not do any of the work, to not do any of the inner work that you need to do, right? I heard that you can listen to readings all day, but if you don't do the inner work, you can even get the results. You could get $10 million and lose all of it because you didn't put in the work in your mindset, in your subconscious mind to hold on to wealth. We hear stories all the time of people becoming millionaires and they lose it all, and it's because of your mind. It's because of old beliefs. It's because, yeah, it really comes down to you doing the inner work. It requires you to go back to the basics, especially with the 1 and the 0. Sometimes we feel like we're too good for the basics. You're not too good for the basics. The basics is what's going to bring your pinnacles to you. It's what's going to build a foundation for your family. It's what's going to make your ancestors proud, because what's the point in your ancestors? Your ancestors struggled. All of us have stories of our ancestors going through some type of struggle. What was that struggle for if we're still struggling? And what was the point? They did all that for what? No, we're supposed to be thriving. We're supposed to be fruitful. They already sacrificed. You don't have to sacrifice more. They've already put in the sacrifice. Especially if you're melanated, right? And do we really need to suffer more than we already have? Do we really need more drama than we've already had in our ancestral lines? Like, no, we don't. We really don't. So, no, it's not, you don't have to feel guilty about being successful. You don't have to feel, I'm hearing these swords now. That's so crazy. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel ashamed. You don't have to feel like it's malicious or it's a bad thing, because your ancestors already put in the work. Your ancestors already struggled. Your ancestors already sacrificed so that you could have better, not so that you could be where they were. That wasn't the point, right? I definitely didn't go through 8 hours of labor so that my child could have the same life situation that I have, right? And that's just giving birth. That's not that's not all the other things that people had to endure in the 1800s and the 1900s in the civil rights movement, right? So the Page of Swords is saying, it's not just about doing it for you, getting the pinnacle, getting the bag. It's not just about you, and putting in the inner work, doing the, not everybody's into meditation. Like, you don't have to be into meditation. You just have to find something that works for you, right? But doing whatever you have to do to reprogram your subconscious mind is giving relief to your ancestors. So this is serious spiritual ancestral work. And it should be something that you're proud of. If you are doing this work, if you do have an ancestor altar, if you do any type of meditation, any type of breath work, anything, journaling, anything that's reprogramming your subconscious mind, and you know that it's working, because it does work. I know from firsthand experience that it definitely works. Definitely congratulate yourself, because you are doing something that is beyond, like way beyond you, in the past and in the future. You're not only honoring your ancestors, but you're honoring your future generations to come. Like, you're bestowing blessings on them. Look at this man. What is he pouring down? It looks like, is it gold? It looks like gold. Maybe it's grain. I just, sometimes, hey, food is gold too, huh? You can actually eat food. It's like he's pouring down blessings, like gifts from the elephant. That's Wow, that is such a powerful message from the Page of Pentacles. I definitely want to keep these going. We're going to move on to the Knights. What wisdom do the Knights have to give us? That was wow. Wow. Again, portals. Just remember that every time you meditate, every time you chant, every time you work with your ancestor altar, any type of work that you're doing to reprogram your subconscious mind, even just listening to this tarot reading, know that you are going through a portal. And you're changing your life for the better. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. So cool. So fly. Okay. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I really, really did. And I will see you guys in the next one. The next one is going to be wisdom from the knights, okay? Then we'll move on to the queens. The kings will go through all of that on YouTube. I will be putting messages from the emperor and messages from the empress, okay? All right. Love y'all. Peace.